Oh, ciao everyone. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. Um, Today we're gonna go over our our game against Sassuolo Match Day 10. I'm sorry if you heard that she can't remember her Halloween songs. That's my wife. Um, but yeah, not all happy go lucky here though. Obviously. Before we get into my opinions and whatever, I'll run through what happened during the match. Obviously, it's just today, as you can see. It's only me today or tonight, wherever you are. Alejandro has other things to do with the account, and Justin's still on vacation. So if you missed today's game, which I don't think he did, I think he watched it. Um, it's a good video to miss today because you know what? Today it wasn't everything that Alejandro and I literally talked about yesterday and the day before leading up to this match about our offensive ineptity or whatever you want to say. Like we no attacking cohesion. It you just couldn't do it. We couldn't connect. I see Mr. Doc saying he's taking a quick bath, so right on cue, man. Oh man, I'm gonna need the chat to help me out a lot today. Vent whatever you need to vent, do whatever you need to do. We'll get through this together because again, it's not a good performance, especially all what Allegri had to say prior to the match. Okay, let's go over what happened in the game first. Um, so hello Anas, how's it going? It was a shit show. You're right. Um, Beginning of the match, first thing that I want to pull from the match, Alvaro Morata. Wow. Again, Ale and I went over yesterday. We said this needed to be the game where he scores a goal, just for confidence sake. And what do we see today? Lack of confidence. First 5 to 10 minutes, he probably could have 2 goals. Just the first one, I know he was offside and everything, and I get why it doesn't really matter at this point, but still, why is he taking 18 touches before he does anything with the ball when he's right in front of goal? That's a player lacking confidence at the moment, and it's a shame because literally 30 seconds to 2 minutes later, however long it was, he had a chance again, and I don't know what he's just lacking confidence right now. Um, it is what it is. Uh, we need a hitman up front. I'm not saying we need a guy like Ronaldo because again we're moving on from that now, but we need a guy who will take a chance like that and just score early on in the game and just literally make Sassuolo not even a problem because we allowed them to get back into the game. So again, more match events, not really much happened as per usual. I believe probably around 30 minutes. I didn't write down the exact minute that Dybala had a half chance where he shot from just outside the box and hit the post. Again, our light in the darkness. Dybala is the light in the darkness at this point. He's the only offensive spark, only creative force we have at this point. Um, no one else was even close in an attacking sense to what Dybala can bring and what he did today. I'm not saying Dybala was great, but he showed more than what anyone else showed in the attacking phase of play. Um, so after Dybala hit the post, the match continued. Sassuolo kept getting into the game more and more. Then they had a nice passage of play, and Fratesi scores before halftime. Horrible goal to concede. Not the quality of the goal because they did score a good goal, but the timing of the goal was horrible. If we got into halftime 0-0, I think we win that game. Going down 1-0 halftime is just it kills you mentally, and you saw it. You saw what happened right there with us. Again, a good goal from Sassuolo could have been prevented, probably, but you'd like to think that all goals could be prevented. But at the end of the day, like we needed a not to concede just before halftime. Um, Halftime happens. I don't know what Allegri says something. Obviously, he takes off Rabiot and he puts on a direct winger. So we're in a true 4-4-2 with Chiesa on a wing and Quadrado on a wing, McKennie, Locatelli in the middle, and Morata and Dybala up top. Back four stayed the same, other than Lord DeCilio being pulled out. I don't know exactly what he did, but he did something. He did something to his leg. Might have been a muscle injury, might have been a knee. I'm not sure. And then Sandro came in. So we start off the second half, more of the same, just kind of trying stuff. We pressed better today, which is okay. Like I saw somewhat of a game plan, but in terms of not having the ball and being in the attacking third, but not much happened again. And then we got a free kick. Dybala crossed one in, and lo and behold, McKennie finally scores a goal. Good for him. It's been coming. He's very good in the air. Good finish. We think we're back in the game. We made more subs. Arthur comes on. Kyle George comes on for Morata. Desperately needed. Man, if Morata's not clicking and we're trusting an 18 or 19-year-old at this point, we're in trouble. And you saw that today. You saw that we're in trouble because we lost to Sassuolo and we're relying right now on a 19-year-old to carry the load as a striker. It's never a recipe for success unless you have Erling Haaland. But we don't. We have Kyle George. So then we're attacking to the very end. Of course, Juventus is doing their best. And who lost the ball? Quadrado lost the ball because he's trying to take someone on a half when we have no players back. Loses the ball. Easy enough. Ball over the top of McKennie, who couldn't get there. And Maxime Lopez, one-on-one with the goalie. Chips him easy. 2-1 Sassuolo. They get the 3 points. Simple as like. Horrible. That's you concede a goal right before halftime. You concede a goal right at the end of the game. That's schoolboy shit. That is schoolboy shit. It's not good enough, especially if you want to be even a top four team in a top five domestic league. That's schoolboy stuff. How can you concede those type of goals? It's the mental errors came back into this game in terms of the last goal conceded. The first goal, again, I'm going to give credit to Sassuolo because you do have to credit other teams when they play well and they have a nice passage of play. Good for them. Second goal, Quadrado, I don't know what the hell you're doing. When Ale and I said yesterday you need to take your man on, not in that situation. But whatever, it's fine. Because he's not in the best form right now, and it's very disappointing. So we lose 2-1 to Sassuolo, match day 10. We are now 4-3-3 with 15 points still. Milan won yesterday. Inter, I think I didn't watch the full results, so I'll bring those up right now. Atalanta won today, so they got 3 more points. Roma came back and won. Jeez, so we're even further behind now. Inter ended up winning. So all the big boys won again. And we lost. So that tells you where we're at. I think we're 8th now with this result today. And it's not looking good. If we wanted to open up offensively like we wanted to, as fans, we wanted that to happen, and Max said we need more goals in our game. When we do that, we leak goals. We don't look the same at the back. Well, I prefer the shithouse 1-0 victories. I prefer that and getting results than doing what the hell happened here. Because there's no style of play. There's no style of play when we try to attack. There's zero style of play. Like you see Liverpool, how they like you can see defined styles of play with the best teams in the world. Liverpool, they gegenpress. They like to play tight combination plays, top of the box, and then either get it out wide or play through the Salah and Firmino and Mane. That's a clear style of play. You know what they're doing. It looks great. They can do it. Sassuolo even has a style of play. They link up with their attacking 4 players. The other 2 sit. They like to play quick football on one side, and then they like to play through teams. What the hell do we do? What the hell do we do? What's our style of play? If someone can in the chat can and can describe our style of play, then please go ahead. Is Catenaccio our style of play? I hope I'd rather that and win games than try and implement whatever the hell today was. Because whatever today was, it's not good enough. When you have a two-man midfield of McKennie and Locatelli starting, there's no creativity. When you have Rabiot starting on as a left midfielder, but he's not really a left midfielder, what is going on here? Stop with the 4-4-2. Stop with the 4-4-2 if you're trying to attack. Just stop. I'm fed up with that. There's no passage. There's no passing lanes. If your striker is not going to be able to hold on to the ball like Morata can't, what the hell's the point of him? What the hell's the point of playing a 4-4-2? There's no style of play. Chiesa, shit show. I don't know what he's doing. I don't blame him. I don't blame I don't blame the best players. I don't blame Dybala today. Morata I blame because you can see he was off. Chiesa, he did what he tried. He could, he's trying to do stuff at least. Didn't do it. Don't know what he was doing, but he tried. And that's where we're at as a club right now. We're like, oh yeah, that guy tried his best, so he's good. I saw some comments saying Bernardeschi's needed. No, don't give me that stuff. There's when Juventus is asked to take the responsibility of taking the attacking play to a team, we can't do it. We can't. Roma, we won. We let them attack us, and we played Catenaccio. Inter, we let them play. That was kind of a scrappy game, but we didn't look out of place. So, against the big Chelsea, Catenaccio won. At this point, if that's what's going to get you results, that's what's going to get you results. Because this team, we have no identity at the moment if we try to attack. McKennie should be nowhere near a starting 11 in a two-man midfield. We all know this, though. Locatelli looks out of place at the moment. He needs to be more advanced. We just need to play three midfielders and three clear midfielders, and we need to play with two wingers and a striker. We need to play a 4-3-3. We need, if with the players at our disposal, we need to play with a holding midfield and Arthur that just dictates play. We need Locatelli more advanced, and we need a midfielder that can score goals. It's clear, because whatever 4-4-2 we're doing here, it's not working. Chiesa can't do much. He's restricted. Cuadrado looks not even close to what he looked like last year. Man, it's not good. So before I get into the comments again, I'm gonna just read the stats from today's match, just from FotMob. So it was 2-1, obviously. Ball possession, we had 56, they had 44. It looked like it, but what the hell do we do with the ball? Expected goals, 1.09 for us, 1.06 for them. Again, pretty uneventful match in terms of goal scoring opportunities. Shots were 14-8. Chances created were 11-8 for us. The big chances were 2-1 for them. So what we do with the ball is less than what Sassuolo did with the ball. Obviously, we had more accurate passes. We had more pass success. We had more fouls given, or we committed more fouls. And the biggest big stat that we got from today's game, we had 8 offsides and they had 0. Obviously, who cares what they did for offsides? But we had 8 offsides. These guys are paid they're wealthy players. They get paid quite a bit of money. They've been playing the sport since they were young. They know what offside is. Why? What? You can't read a back line. It's not like they're playing a high line, Sassuolo. These guys are well-paid athletes that have been playing the game for as long as they have to make it to the professional stage, and they can't grasp the offside rule. 8 offsides in a game. That's almost one every 10 minutes. That's crazy. I swore I didn't even have to. When McKennie scored his goal, I was like, oh my god, he's offside. Like I was scared because like that was the way the flow of the game was going. I was scared. But yeah, so Sassuolo created more big chances than we did, and we had 56% of the ball possession. And ball possession means absolutely did squat if you don't do anything with it. Sassuolo did more with it today, and they scored their 2 goals. And that's where we're at right now. It's not good. We're not in a good spot. When we were shithousing our victories and shithousing our results, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. This channel, we were not happy with the style of play, but we were happy with the results. And I think that's if we want to do anything this year in terms of trophies or just get to the goals that we need to get to, we need to shithouse results. We need to play Catenaccio, especially with the players we have. Um, if he's going to consistently play in a 4-4-2, we got to do what was successful. Because taking it to opponents and playing the way that they're playing, it's not successful. So that's my little rant. It's over. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll get to your comments now. Let's start from the top here. Farine says, feels bad. Yeah, not good. What's up, Scarlet Witch? um, Bond says, we need a top striker and another top midfielder. At least bring back Ravella. He's a solid player. Doesn't lose the ball easy. Too much load on Locatelli, who looks gassed. Morata, Sandro, Bonucci, very poor. Quadrado looks lost. I agree with basically everything you said. Does it cost money? Yes. Do we have money? I don't know. But we won't be bringing back Ravella until the summer because that's how deals like that work. That's how loans work. Um, Morata, he doesn't look good enough at this moment in time. Sandro is no longer 2017 Sandro, so not good enough. Bonucci is never good without Chiellini, and we know this. And Quadrado is lost. Moving on. Farine says Morata was bad, but midfield again disconnected from attack. Old story over and over again. Yep. And this time when we try to impose ourselves on a team, we couldn't do it. Like I said. Hello, Dominique. How's it going? Our season is done and dusted, Dominique says. The title race is over even before Christmas. You're exactly right. And I think after the Roma result, Alejandro and I last week, or it was after the Inter game, I forget. After one of the big games, the title of our show was, what is realistic? Are we going for the top 4 or are we going for the title? I said, and Alex, we both said, we're going for a top 4 place. We had that was our beating streak was at 8 or 9, and the question was asked, what's our goal? What's our realistic goal? And without a doubt in my mind, it was top 4 place and make it into the knockout stage of the Champions League. Top 4 is gonna be tough. We're now 6 points back of Inter. No, more. Yeah, yeah, we're more. I don't know. I don't know how many points we're back now. I didn't even look after the game, to be honest, because I was just it's just not good enough. We are 6 points behind Inter. We are 4 points behind Roma, who are in 4th. Fourth place is still achievable and it's still attainable, but we were talking about we played the top 4 already, and now here's the chances to make up ground when playing the easier matches. We just lost an easier match on paper. I I don't know. What do you say? What is there to say at this point? We tried the whole we at the beginning of the year we made the excuse, oh, Ronaldo left, and 4 games in, we had to get used to him not being on our team. Okay, no problem. Fans are like, okay, we got you, no problem. Then we go on this unbeaten streak of 9 games, and we're playing shit football, but we're getting results. And we're like, understandable. A lot of our main players are out. Okay, got you. No excuse today. No excuse Sunday. Sunday, you should have won that game. Sunday, we should have won that game. We were probably better for the majority of it. Today, you should win that game. No problem. I don't get it. It's not good enough, and everyone. How do you fix problem? How do you fix a on-field product? Well, you got a new coach, so and he's not going anywhere because he's making 9 million euros, and he's got a 4-year contract. So you're not firing him. Obviously, he's here for the long haul. There's a lot of players. There's a lot of deadwood players that need to leave. We get it. And how do you replace those? Do you replace them with money and new signings? Well, what money do we have? Ale says, our co-host Ale says, we have no money. I'm under the impression that we have some money. What are we gonna do? Because it's if it's so clear to us fans that we have no attacking identity, a guy like Max Allegri, a guy like Pavel Nedved, they must be ripping their. Well, Allegri's already ripped his hair out, but a guy like Pavel Nedved, golden locks, beautiful long hair, he must be ripping his hair out. Because what the hell happened today? That's criminal with all the talent. And again, there is talent on the pitch. There's Dybala, there's Morata, there's Chiesa, there's Locatelli, there's Delit. Like I just named 5 players that are quality players, like international players. They play for their national team and everything. And it just doesn't click. Nothing happens. Nothing in the attacking third. It's past the one guy, and maybe he beats his man and crosses. I see nobody trying to get on the ball in the middle of the pitch besides Dybala. Just just Dybala. He's doing his best to incorporate everyone. He's dropping way too deep still. And I know someone's got to because McKennie's not the guy to advance the ball. I saw so many mental mistakes from McKennie today that he couldn't even, like his loose touches, poor touches, like trying to pass the ball quicker. It, I don't know. I don't know if Allegri's starting McKennie just to get his value up a bit, or if it's to say to the board, look at this garbage that we have. And I get he scored a goal today, and he did exactly what we wanted to do. He did exactly what we needed to do. Get into an attacking position and score. Good. Everything else is horrible about his style of play, about the way he plays. Horrible. On the ball, in our defensive third, in our neutral third, disaster. Disaster. Farine says, if we get Witzel in January, to be honest, I will be happy. I can't see any more Rabiot and McKennie on the pitch. Again, if you get Witzel, that bumps up Locatelli and probably Arthur at that point. If those two, or if McKennie needs to be sold. He'll suit a mid-table Premier League team great. He'll suit them perfectly. Rabiot, I'm done with oh man, I'm over this Rabiot experiment. It's just the team and squad composition right now is so poorly constructed. It's almost as if, and again, they'll tell you the board tried to get the players we need. The board tried their best in the marketplace to get players. They got Keane, they got Locatelli, they got Kyle George, and I get that. They tried their best with limited funds. Just identify the correct positions at least. We didn't identify a defensive midfielder. We brought in Locatelli to play that role just because He is our best midfielder overall in quality. I YFG says, I don't care if it's Witzel or Tchouaméni, we need a defensive midfielder. Yeah, and when you get a defensive midfielder, it'll bump everyone up, like I said, and there'll be more balance in the squad. Hopefully you can change a formation. Hopefully you can change out of a 4-4-2 if you could bring a guy like Witzel in. And if you bring a guy like Witzel in and Allegri does change his formation, then you know it was exactly the players he had in his squad that he could not play anything but a 4-4-2. Which I still think is horse and a bunch of baloney. There are formations where you can play more attacking but also defensively responsible football. You can. And I'm not just saying that because I think I'm a coach and I know it all. But there are other solutions than a 4-4-2 for this team. So we'll move on. I know I'm behind in the chat, and I know Alejandro is doing great behind the scenes work, bringing up some chats. I missed a lot. Sorry, guys. Thank you for joining us today on the post-match review. Reaction to match day 10 against Sassuolo, losing 2-1 to the Nero Verde. We got 21 viewers, I believe it looks like. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're still trying to get to that 1,700 subscriber mark set by Justin. That's the challenge that Justin, our other co-host, set up for us today. Or not today, about a couple days ago. Click the bell icon, of course, to stay notified for all our newest stuff. If you want to become a member and join our group chat in Discord, you can look at the links in the video. See at the bottom right corner of your screens there. If you can become a Bianconeri Zone member today, very easily. We got good chats in there. Good stuff goes on in there. Anyway, moving on. Guys, again, when you don't have a style of play and you go out and try to attack, it's like it's so noticeable. It's just the most noticeable thing ever. Like, did you train anything on during training? Did you practice anything during training? Did you practice any passing movements or patterns? You hope that a €9 million coach a year would do that. At least go in the video session and the classroom and show some type of passing pattern, an idea of how to attack. Just oh man. And to be honest, the thing that was helping us in the past during our 9-game unbeaten streak was our defensive resiliency. And today, again, the first goal is the first goal. If there's a good passage of play, I'll give kudos to Sassuolo. Good for them. But the second goal, there's no excuse, man. There's no excuse for Cuadrado trying to take a guy at the halfway line when there's nobody back. That's going back to the beginning of the year stuff and mental errors. And that's one of your veteran players. That's Juan Cuadrado, who had an excellent season last year. He's run down. He's run down right now. These games, he's aging. These games are coming thick and fast. I don't know. We'll talk about Cuadrado later because he's not doing enough in both phases of the game, in attacking and defending. He's not doing enough. So we read that. Sorry. Antonio I says it was in the Locatelli contract with Sassuolo that we lose in our own backyard. That's what Carnevale was fighting for. Yeah, you give us 3 points, we'll give you Locatelli. Maybe, who knows? That's how many meetings there were. Bond says Rabiot couldn't score in an empty net. Rabiot couldn't do anything against 17-year-olds. I'm convinced at this point. Anas says, what do you think the mistake that led to the first goal? yeah, we lost possession. I think higher up the pitch at least, and Sassuolo broke quickly. Fratesi, Berardi, and it was Gregoire Defrel, I believe. They broke us down. They did a good quick passing, something I wish Juventus could do. 1-2 touch passing around our edge of the box. Runners from midfield coming in. Wow. Sassuolo, mid-table team, can do that. Why can't Juventus with all these paid stars? Stars. We'll quote stars. Wow. Davide Fratesi. He did exactly what we want our midfielders to do. So good for him. Kudos to him, obviously. But it's embarrassing. It's a bad loss. It's a bad loss at home. Um, Going into the whole home game. So 6:30 game in Italy. Um, there's no one there. There's no one at the stadium. There's no atmosphere. There's no noise. Um, it's sad. It's sad the environment that has been created. I don't know if tickets are too much. I don't know if the timing of the match had anything to do with it. 6:30 on a weekday. Um, I know all sporting events in um, North America here, our kickoffs, puck drops, tip offs, they usually happen when it's midweek. It's usually 7 o'clock or later. So I don't know, and those buildings are usually packed. So I don't know if the ticket prices are too high. Just nobody wants to go and enjoy the atmosphere. It's not a good look right now. Um, Going back into the chat again. So Anas, you said, what do you think the mistake was on the first goal? I think we just lost possession higher up the pitch, and Sassuolo countered us well, and they made some good quick passes. Um, Stephanie Velasquez says, can we also talk about how from the 80th to 90th minute, no play at all, I felt like I was watching the NFL. And then Bond goes on to say, epic time wasting by Sassuolo. But what do you expect? What do you expect a mid-table team to do that has a point at least, that's holding a point against a good team when they're away? I didn't expect anything less. I wouldn't expect Juventus to do anything less if that's against a better team as well. It's part of the game. It's a shit part of the game, but it's part of the game. So it's a shame that we can't complain about why they did that, because we know why they did that. It's a shame that we couldn't dictate the play so to not allow them to do that. Maybe we can complain about that. That's something we could have done in lieu of them time wasting. How about we just not grab a jersey for once and foul? How about we just not do that? How about we just work harder and get in front of them? You just gotta work harder. So yeah. So Bond makes a point that Juve lost to Fiorentina and Sassuolo and Sassuolo after getting Chiesa and Locatelli. Incidences at this point, yeah, I get it. Sure. Would they rather be on Fiorentina and Sassuolo? Probably not. Oh shoot! I just lost the car. Oh, YFG says Quadrado seems like he cannot play as a winger anymore. Coach should play him as a right back, and I think that's the biggest thing. If you play him at right back, he becomes the man that is the plus one. He's the plus one in attack. He's the guy who's supporting and getting someone involved, and he's helping out his winger and get involved. He's creating a numbers up situation, and I think he's effective in that passive play. But when he's the main guy trying to take on maybe two guys, because they'll have their left back, and they might have another midfielder coming to cover. Right now, he just doesn't have that step. He just doesn't have that will to get past someone or two people. And it's a shame, because he's a very good player. Quadrado was a very good player all these years. James Tonin says, tough loss. They will regroup. And then INWI. I don't know what that means, but they will regroup. You hope so. If he reverts back to his Catenaccio, to his shithousing results, yeah, we'll be back. No problem. There's no one better in the game than that, than Allegri at doing that. YFG says, even if you don't know shit about tactics or football, all you have to do is simply play a 4-3-3 and depend on your attacker to attack and create chance. That's exactly it. So Liverpool, another example. They played Man United on the weekend. They won 5-0. Was it because of Henderson, Keita, and Milner? Like, they're good, they're fine, but it's not like they did anything special. They just got the ball and to their talented players in positions where they can attack. Simple. Obviously, we don't have Mo Salah, we don't have Bobby Firmino, we don't have Jota was the player in that game, but we don't have Mane. But we do have a Chiesa, we do have a Dybala, and we do have Morata if he's on. We have enough talent to deal with Sassuolo in a 4-3-3. You get Arthur in the game, you get Locatelli in the game in a more advanced position. You get those two the ball, and you transition from defense to attack with those two to the wingers and to the attackers. You can have a lot of success. And I see that Farin saying the ball is useless in a 4-3-3. He comes out to the right wing anyway. You just might as well make him an inverted right winger. I still I still think that's the best position for them. But it is what it is. Can't dwell on this game anymore. You got to move on to Hellas Verona because that's a tough game on Saturday. James Tonin says, I will say Quadrado's on the downside of his career. Probably. You did mention that about a year ago when he was in the almost it looked like the prime of his career. Uh, he's slowing down now though. YFG says Alexandro, McKennie, Quadrado, we're in the competition. We're in a competition today. Who could lose the ball wins. The person who's losing the ball most is the champion. Yeah, just they're like yesterday in our preview. I was talking about players who were neat and tidy on the ball, and I kept saying Sassuolo players like Maxi Lopez, Fratesi, Raspadori, Berardi. They're neat and tidy on the ball, and Hamed Traore. I don't say that about our midfield. I don't say that at all in our midfield about our midfielders. Maybe Locatelli's neat and tidy, but sometimes he's erratic. And he's the best of the lot. Arthur's neat and tidy, but he didn't start. Moving on to Bond said, I think Bond said this comment a lot. He said Berardi's a very smart player. Like he's fine. He's exactly where he should be. Sassuolo. Vegeta says, I think it's easy to support the club when it won for 9 straight years. It's much more important to support your club than when it's struggling. These bad seasons were going to come sooner or later. And you're exactly right, Vegeta. We literally started the channel when our banter era is coming. And when I say banter, take it with a grain of salt. It's just because we're not on top anymore. But yeah, we started this channel just so we can get everyone involved and through the high times and the low times. And we're experiencing some low times right now. We literally beat the European champions a couple weeks ago, and now we lost to Sassuolo at home and Empoli at home in almost a month span. That's not good enough. The Chelsea win, great. But we won't be able to play Chelsea next year if we don't make a top 4. We have to play better in the league. Moving on to YFG saying De Ligt and Chiesa are being linked with top clubs around Europe: Chelsea, Liverpool, Bayern, Manchester United, etc. If we keep playing like this, we will lose them and lose all our best players. Yeah, I'm very scared that De Ligt's going to leave. But that was even when we were in a 7-game unbeaten streak. I was saying that stuff. I'm very nervous just because of his agent and Delit's playtime, to be honest, because he's not playing in the top games, and he's played today and we've lost and conceded 2 goals, and now people are gonna mention him that he's not good enough, blah blah blah. It's just the scrutiny, the agent, the time management. It's I'm scared we're gonna lose Delit, but I hope we don't. Ale seems a little bit more optimistic, but I don't know. Learn English with Jime JB. We need a striker like Vlahovic. Again, yeah, we do. But do we need money? Yes. Are we gonna have the money? I seem to think we'll have some money, and you got to think that a decent run in the Champions League will get us a little bit more play money. You got to think a top 4 finish is going to get us more play money. And again, the little capital gains here and there that we've gotten are going to influx a little bit more money into the club. Oh, Justin, what's up? This game sucked. That is all. Back to the beach, or back to beach drinking. Sick. Yeah, like and subscribe, like our account says. YFG again says, since these players aren't performing, I think this is the time we give another chance to Kyle George, Kulusevski, Pellegrini. All those players want some game time to prove themselves, and they should get it. I'm going to touch on Kulusevski here because we see where he is now in the pecking order. He got the start against Inter, and he was literally on the pitch to man Mark Brozovic out of the game as a forward. That's why he started. So there's that. And then today he doesn't start. The game goes on. Morata's coming off, and we put Kyle George on instead of Kulusevski. Now I'm personally not complaining with that sub because we needed a more of a striker, and Kyle George more of a striker than Kulusevski. But at the same time, Kulusevski's probably thinking to himself, "Okay, now Kyle George has passed me." So his confidence is probably even lower now. And I think Edgar made a comment in our comment section a couple videos ago or something. He's saying that Kulusevski himself deemed that he's more of a central player. So he's either an attacking midfielder, striker in that range. And to be honest, I'm going to disagree with the guy himself. I'm going to disagree with Kulusevski himself because I don't think he's that guy. I think he is better suited to be just a winger. Whether I prefer him to be as a right winger. I prefer him to get the ball on his left foot and create chaos on a wing. He's not always going to beat his man because he doesn't have the pace for it, but he is shifty, he is wriggly, and he can get out of tight situations. But yeah. It's not good. Moving on. Yusuf says if we had taken one of our 3 chances in the first 8 minutes, then we probably would have had a different conversation. Okay, this all stems back to our what do you want to call it? I'll keep it simple. Our lack of offensive prowess. We just can't score goals. We can't score goals, not because we're not creating chances, like you said. Sorry, we do score goals, but we're not scoring the easy goals. We're not scoring with Morata in front of the goal. We're scoring like these scrappy little goals here and there because we have no offensive ideas. We have no creativity. We have no. I get we have Dybala, but you need someone on the same wavelength as Dybala. Like Dybala connects attack and midfield. We know that. What does Chiesa do? Chiesa is a powerful dribbler who likes to beat his man and link up with the center forward. These are good things. And if your striker is not doing the job, then you're almost leaving Dybala and Chiesa out to dry because then they become useless. Because when they get the ball, they're trying to create for themselves and other players. But Morata, the ball wasn't sticking with Morata today. I'm not blaming the whole loss of Morata, of course. Like, I'm not blaming the whole attacking play on Morata. But he was a main reason why we didn't have longer spells of possession. He's a main reason why we weren't up a couple goals in the first couple minutes, like Yusuf said. He's not in a good spot right now, whether that's mentally, physically, because we know Morata when he's not playing up here, then it's not going well. We'll see what happens. It was a good substitution though. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Kyle George came in, provided a little bit of a spark plug, but again, the inexperience, the diving, we don't need that. Had a couple of good touches around the box. Actually picked up his head and looked for to play the way he was facing, which is nice. So he's a bit promising, but again, are we gonna trust our whole attack on a 19-year-old striker that just came from Brazil? Probably not. And if we do, we deserve to be in the position we're in. YFG says simple. Play Chiesa and Kulusevski on the wings, Kyle George up or Keane up top. Dybala would play as a number 10, but he would have to have the freedom to move around the pitch. Um, hmm. I'm almost at the point where if Morata's going to play like this, I'd rather have Dybala as the striker. Because if that's the case, then he comes and collects the ball on the side. He comes a little bit deeper on the side that the ball's on, and then the further out winger can come across and help support down the middle. I'm almost at that point because right now Morata's just he's not at that level that we need him to be at, and Kyle George is a 19-year-old kid. Yusuf also commented saying, "I was watching the other games and there was so much movement and dynamism in the midfield. Yes, the players actually unmarked themselves. Yes, ran into the channels, etc. Wish we could do that. You don't even have to look at other games. You can just look at literally Sassuolo. Sassuolo plays some good like when they're passing the ball around. They play some good football. You saw their first goal was literally that. They scored both their goals were their holding midfielders today. Maxi Lopez, Davide Fratesi. Again, Fratesi started the play, worked the ball forward. They made some couple passes in and around the box. Fratesi kept making his run into the box, found it, scored it. Beautiful. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I wish our midfielders did that. Maxi Lopez, 95th minute, still on the park, started the match, still buzzing, looking for that counterattack opportunity. Scored. Breakaway. Made a run. You don't even have to look at Yusuf. I know it's fun to watch other teams, but you don't even have to. You can just watch the team we're playing against, playing some modern football. It's sad. It's sad that Sassuolo plays better football than us, and they proved it today, and they beat us. YFG says we are Juventus supporters for life, 100%. But when they play bad, we should criticize them. This is what we're doing. No sugarcoating here. No, it's okay. We'll get them next time. None of that bullshit. They were bad. They were bad attacking today. They were bad in somewhat in the defensive phase, and they made mental mistakes. You deserve to lose the game. Now it's time for, he goes on to say, now is the time to show Juventus players and coach some tough love. 100%. Again, I'm not going to, like, Dybala wasn't the worst player, so I'm not going to rip into him. He got his assist, he hit the post, he tried to create. He was fine. Chiesa wasn't great. Morata was horrible. Quadrado was horrible. Rabiot was horrible, yanked off at halftime. Locatelli was horrible. McKennie was okay for what he does. Okay for what he does. Center backs. The delay wasn't great today. Bonucci was horrible. Didn't have much to do, but he was still not great. Sandro horrible. Danilo didn't notice him, so can't really comment. Home of Juve saying, can't believe we lost to these guys. Yeah. Tough. Bun says, what are our next matches leading up to the international break? Antonio answered you right away. Verona, so Hellas Verona on Saturday at noon Eastern Standard Time and 6 p.m. CEST, so Italy time. So it's going to be almost the exact same time as today when they played. And Antonio was exactly right. They're not easy fixtures. Away to Verona, where they've troubled some teams already, and Fiorentina, who's looked a lot better than last year. Chi says, we are using Chiesa wrong. He needs to play higher up the pitch like an attacking winger, like Liverpool uses Salah. That's exactly right. I think I just said that. I think I said that literally 5 or 6 minutes ago. I said, look at Liverpool. They didn't have the greatest midfielders against Manchester United. Doesn't matter. They got their most talented players the ball in dangerous areas, and they let them run free. And again, Klopp is someone who thinks like this. Allegri is someone who thinks like this. It's quite evident the different styles of thinking that I'm not stereotyping here, but that this is a German coach, full out Gegenpress, full out attacking style play against Catenaccio, just win shithouse, whatever. So I don't know if we can do what Liverpool does. I don't know if we have the talent. Am I lagging? I must be lagging a bit. It looks like I'm lagging a bit. I think we're back now. Yeah. So going back to, we need to get Chiesa into spots where he can run at defenders. We're still not doing that. In a 4-4-2, we'll never do that. We're asking him too much defensively to do. It's got to fully, like you saw with the Italian national team. He was the guy who picked up the ball and ran at people. He wasn't asked to defend the whole game or a good portion of the game. Di Lorenzo never went forward for the Italian national team. We got to get our better players in more advantageous positions on the pitch. It's hard. You need midfielders to do that, but it is what it is. Chi goes on to say, if we play our cards with Morata as a striker, we are doomed. But he's the best we got right now. If you're saying in the summer to outright buy him, and that's a no-no, I agree. Got to invest somewhere else. If he's your only option, then you probably should do it. Italian Eagles back. What's up, man? When I thought we made progress, but we know we are still the same team from last season. He goes on to say, Serie A is gone for another year. I'm pissed off. We got to hope for fourth again. I'm so fuming. We have not been the same since 2019, and let's be honest, guys, as much as it hurts. Yeah. No, you're exactly right. No, you're exactly right. We have to understand what's going on here. We're in a transition. We've been in transition for a little bit now. And we're going to continue to be in transition until we get the right players playing the right style. And we have no style. Like this video title should have been no style. Just no style of play. So, Italian Eagle, you're right. It's top 4 bust this year. And we'll see. We'll see where we go from here. Antonio says 4-3-3 with Loca, Arthur, Berna up front. Hold on. Antonio says 4-3-3 with Locatelli, Arthur, and Bernardeschi in midfield. Up front with Chiesa, Keane, and Kulu. Oh, no, Bernardeschi should not be starting on the team whatsoever. I don't care what anyone has to say about Bernardeschi. He's a positive player, yada, yada, yada. No. Dude hasn't scored since 2 years ago or something. He's not. He's a negative value player. And apparently now he's really selfish because you saw, keep me in for another minute, coach. Let's see what happens. Nah. Nah, man. You just get off the field. You don't let us play 10 men against Inter for 5 minutes. Bond says Sandro was the worst. No, I think Morata was worse than Sandro today. In terms of what he had, what his job was. Italian Eagles, yeah. Talking. YFG says we need to start Caio in the game against Hellas Verona, and we should change the formation to play a 3-man. This is the biggest thing. This is the biggest thing. I think every Juventus fan is starting to realize. Not just realize, we've probably known for a while now. The midfielders we currently have, we cannot play a 2-man midfield, and we cannot play one of the midfielders as a left midfielder. We need them to be. We need to have 3-man midfield. We need Arthur to start. We need the protection around him. We need Locatelli to play higher. We have all the answers. Let's see. Let's just see once. Let's just see once what a 4-3 an actual 4-3-3 would look like. I sound like Manchester United fans saying, "Don't start McFred," blah blah blah. But let's just see what we got in Locatelli, Arthur, and blank midfielder, and then a proper three-man attack, like a Chiesa, a focal point, and a Dybala, or a Chiesa, Dybala, Kulusevski. Let's just see what we got. I just saw a great comment from Chi Guria, and I said this as soon as the channel started. As soon as the Bianconerizonechannel channel started, and as soon as I hopped on to the live shows. We'll get to it shortly. YFG says the games versus Hellas Verona and Zenit, we have to change something. Yeah. Either tactics or formation or even both. This is, again, we need to... Okay, so it's been brought up here. It's been brought up by Alejandro. I can't understand why Allegri can't implement the same approach as Mancini did with the national team. Dybala is an upgrade to Insigne. This is what I said. Quadrado can take Spinazzola. That's exactly what I said, just on the right side. I understand that we don't have the same mid, but it's the same idea. Gee, this is bang on. This is exactly what I said. Like months ago, though. Before we even did a 4-4-2. Something's got to change, and it's clearly. I'm going to say it's the formation that's got to change. You got to set these players up in ways where they're going to be successful, especially when you're trying to take the game to a weaker team. If you're playing Chelsea again, Catenaccio, boom, good, do it. I don't care. Fine. If we're trying to impose our will against Sassuolo at home, you don't set up like that. You don't set up Adrian Rabiot on the left as a left midfielder. And then the people on Twitter are going to say to you, "Oh yeah, are you going to trust Allegri rather than a guy who's talking into a microphone?" We all have opinions. We're all out our own opinions. Like, you guys have your own opinions here. I'm not shutting you down. I just don't agree with some of them. The Italian Eagle. I watch teams like Liverpool, Man City, PSG, and Bayern play, and they look like scoring every chance. Well, they have better players, to be fair, first and foremost. And they play good football, and we haven't played great football, to be honest, or looked even convincing since 2017. Yeah. I'll just keep it at yeah. Bond says Klopp didn't win any trophy with Liverpool first few years, but now they have a great style and are a stable squad. Okay. However, as soon as they had Firmino, Mane, Salah, and Van Dijk, they became super dangerous right away. And their Gurgen press worked. And the quick play in the attacking third worked. So this is not the same thing as Klopp and the same thing as Liverpool. I'm just saying, in terms of what they do, they get their best players in an opportunity to succeed. And we do not do that here. We do not get Chiesa in the final third running at people as much as we should. We do not get Dybala facing goal nearly enough. Like 25 yards out. We do not get him nearly enough touches there. Our crosses never meet one of our players. You got good aerial presence in the box. You got a guy like McKennie. You got a guy like Morata. You need to pick them out with crosses. Or else what's the point of crossing the ball? Guys, don't forget to like the video. I don't know how many likes we're at, but we're at 28 viewers. So I'm sure we can get a couple more likes. I don't know what the count is. Again, don't forget, share the channel to all your friends. Our challenge from co-host Justin was 1,700 by the time he gets back, and that is on Saturday, I believe. So let's get to that goal. Please and thank you. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon button to stay notified for all our videos. Am I frozen? No. Okay. Home of Juve. He's been saying this for a couple of weeks now, or for at least the last week or so. He's been really on the Houssem Aouar train. We're not going to get into January transfers yet. We'll probably start doing that. The next national break or international break. We'll get more into rumors and all that because it'll be a month or so away, and we'll have more stuff on that. But we need more. We need to fix it internally right now, or else you're looking at Conference League. You're looking at no European football at this point, and that would be just shameful. And then you'll see DeLitt leave for sure, and then you'll see Dybala just leave on a free. Let's see. YFG says all of the Italian teams realize that the defensive style play doesn't work anymore in modern football. So why can't Juventus and Allegri realize that? So I believe Catenaccio works when you have the players we do against better teams. Because we've seen it. But defensive football, again, against Sassuolo, or the way we set up at least against Sassuolo, it doesn't work. You're playing a 4-4-2 that is not actually a 4-4-2, but is set up like a 4-4-2. I don't blows my mind. Rabiot, why does Rabiot start that game? It makes no sense. Again, I'm not Allegri out or anything. I'm not saying he should leave because one, I know he can't. Two, I know he's trying to do the best he can with the players he has, but he can. I think he can just do a little bit more. I think he can. I think let him just open it up a bit. Understand that you can still defend in a 4-3-3 and be responsible in a 4-3-3. Oh, the Italian Eagle. Here we go. I'm not saying Allegri to be sacked yet. That's stupidity and idiotic to sack a manager just 2 months into a new season. And the man has only been back for 5 months ago. But Allegri got a lot of work to do. Yeah, he does. And he's one of the most stubborn people to coach at this time, and I can't see him moving past a 4-4-2, but he needs to. Guy, if you're a Juventus member, throw up throw in the chat what my emoji or whatever it's called emoji is, because I've said 4-4-2 in a pissed off way with a backwards hat and a chin strap, facial hair. This is my session. Oh, moving on in the chat. The Italian or YFG says Awar will be free in the summer. He likes Juventus, so maybe we should try signing him. Is he the player that's going to get us out of this? Is he? I know he's better than McKennie, and I know he's better as an attacking midfielder than everyone else on our squad. Is he a player Allegri likes? That's another thing you have to consider. Like Allegri's talking about Witsel, so the Italian Eagle says, "I dread to think what Chelsea would do to us if we play like that. If we did what we did today against them." There's no positives today. Take away McKennie header, and what do we do? What do we create in that game? There's no positives at all for me. It's the worst performance of the season. No, 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 no. Empoli was worse. Empoli was worse. Like, the ball was okay today. The ball was horrible against Empoli. So, it's okay. Today was not our worst performance, but it was not great. Um, would you sack Allegri? No, 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 no. Again, we're not saying Allegri out here. He just has to do something. We just have to do something. We have to not play a 4-4-2. That's it. I can't say anything else. We just can't do that anymore. And we can't set up in a 4-4-2 with three center midfielders. That makes zero sense. It just makes zero sense. Uh Ryan Saliba, what's up, man? Forget about sacking the man. It's not going to happen. Yeah, no. Homo Vive says, or the Italian Eagle says, Allegri won't get sacked if we come 6th or 7th or 8th in the league. I think, let alone winning. Not. Yeah, he's not. He's not getting sacked this year. Like we got it again. That's another thing. The continuity of a coach. Firstly, we can't afford to fire him. Secondly, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep firing a coach after one season. We can't fire Allegri, then fire Sarri after 1 year, then fire Pirlo after 1 year, then fire Allegri again after another year. We need some continuity. Homo Vive says, why Witsel? He's about to retire. That's what Allegri wants. YFG says, if we don't qualify for the Champions League this year, I would give Allegri one more season to prove himself. If not, I would sack him. Graham Potter? Dude, I know you watch a lot of football, and I know Brighton's been pretty good this year, and they usually have a good brand of style of play. But Graham Potter he's just not the guy. Graham Potter is just not. He's just not cut out for the Juventus job. The Italian media would criticize and rip him apart as soon as you lose, because his style of play it's nice. Again, it's nice, but can he manage egos? Can he manage these stars? Can he manage a Federico Chiesa? I don't know. He has Pascal Gross. He manages Neil Maupay, who already has a temper tantrum in himself, and you can't really control him. I don't know. Graham Potter, again, brilliant style of football, but you also need to have some pedigree to coach Juventus. We're gonna do another probably 6 or 7 minutes. Dybala said, or Dybala didn't say this. Homo Vive said Dybala got an assist today and he almost scored. Yeah, okay. Again, I said he was fine. Ryan Saliba says other 3 seasons like that. Yeah, okay. It takes time. You're right. Jeff Costello, what's going on, Jeff? Please, I hope they don't bring in Witzel. He's 30 plus. We have good, talented players, and it's just not clicking. We definitely need an upgraded midfield, Jeff. That's all I'm going to say to that. We definitely need an upgraded midfield still. The Italian Eagle says, I say Empoli isn't as bad because Empoli was at the start of the season. Empoli has been okay this season. Sassuolo has been underperforming since the end of October, and they deserve to win the game 2-1. Again, Empoli is a promoted team, and Sassuolo have a better team on paper, and they lost to Atalanta, they lost to Inter, but they won their other games against the other mid-table teams. Sassuolo's a decent team. They got decent players. They're very tidy, and we said that yesterday. They shouldn't have posed a threat, but they did, and they won. Bond says, do you agree that Juve's best play was first half against Milan? I say the way we set up and the way we defended that created our chances, it was the best. We were technically best set up for that game. I think our best game was against Chelsea still, but just in a different way. Like our best game, like we were so defensively connected and well structured, and we took our chance that we created, and we should have won by more. I think Chelsea was still our best game, but in terms of the way we set up, it's Chelsea. It's Chelsea. That game was perfect. It was a perfect game. Yusuf says it's frustrating at this point. It's all of us say we need to play 3-man midfield. Then what does it makes Allegri play 4? It's exactly it. He's not done. It's exactly it. He's not a dumb guy. Why is he so locked into a 4-4-2? Does he know something we don't? This is the $1 million question. It's a $1 million question. Why is he doing this? And again, people on social media all over the world are going to say, well, Allegri knows more than you do. Again, we can have our opinion, and our opinion can't be wrong until it's tried out. Like if I said, yeah, play Rabiot in a 4-4-2, it's going to be great. No, that's an incorrect opinion because we saw it doesn't work. But if we're saying play in a 4-4-3 or 4-3-3 in a 3-man midfield, and we don't do it, how do I know it doesn't work? So again, we got to try something else out if we're gonna go try and take the game to a team. Until we do that, 4-4-2 out. That's what I'll say. Not Allegri out. 4-4-2 out. I'm gonna get to a couple more comments and then we're gonna wrap it up. Italian Eagles talking about sacking managers. Yeah, it's driving me nuts as well. YFG says the only positive is if Juventus FC hit rock bottom is that when you hit rock bottom, you can only go up. And that's where you're exactly right. And I don't think we've hit rock bottom yet, though. That's the thing. I think this season could get even worse potentially. No, I'm going to knock on wood. But I'm not trying to make this doomsday, but it could get worse, 100%. YFG goes on to say, Dybala, Arthur, and Caio Jorge are the only players who impressed me today. Which players were a bright light in the dark for you today, Julian? Oh, I said Dybala was the lightness in the dark today. In a dark time, Dybala was it. He's the jewel, of course. Other than that, again, Caio Jorge came on and he was better than Morata, but that's not saying much. I'm not going to say he was fine. I'm not going to say he was a bright light. I'm just going to say he was better than Morata, and that's not saying much today. And other than that, I can't even say Arthur was great. Again, he kept the ball, but he did his job. He didn't do anything stupendous. He just did his job. And I think we have to clarify this as well. If you do your job, and you don't do it in a spectacular way, but you just do your job, you're not shining bright light. You just look better than everyone else because you did your job and no one else is doing their job. Not good. Home of Juve says, Julian, do you think we should have brought Zidane in instead of Allegri? You think Allegri has no style of play? Zidane's got no style of play. Zidane is, I manage the best players in the world and I set up in a 4-3-3 and go play. I think Zidane's a little bit overrated. I'm not saying he's a bad coach because I don't know what he can do with another team because all he had was Ronaldo and Real Madrid. But to me, he's got not really many tactics. He plays a classic 4-3-3. So maybe that's the reason itself he should have came. But he just plays a classic 4-3-3, and he has the double pistons as the midfielders. He has the one guy who sits, and he's got wingers coming in closer, and the fullbacks going bombing. He plays a classic 4-3-3. There's nothing else to it. Would that work with us? Maybe. But is Sandro good going forward? Not really. So Forza Juve says, I always wanted Zidane. I think I just gave you my opinion on Zidane. It's tough, guys. It's tough. We can all vent as much as we want, but until Saturday, until we see something else, it's going to be more of the same. Oh, it looks like to me, speaking about coaches, Barcelona is having an emergency meeting about Koeman. Yeah, Ryan Saliba is saying, stop thinking and telling about the next manager. Allegri's here to stay. I 100% agree with that. I'm not saying that we should replace him. No one's saying that. I was asked the question, I answered the question. Ryan Saliba says, so pretty much all of us here except Julian are coaches taking experience from FIFA. Is that a shot at me? Ryan, what do you mean by that? We'll get his answer and then we'll wrap it for today. But I want to stay on until I get the response from Ryan. What does he mean by so pretty much all of us here except Julian are coaches taking experience from FIFA? Homo Viva says we need lucky manners like Ole. Managers. Yeah, I don't want to get into other teams' coaches. I just reported a thing from Fabrizio Romano. Forza Juve says no. Arthur is only good for killing clock. He never goes forward. All aside to passes. In a 3 minute midfield, you you kind of need that. You kind of need some balance of play. Like Jorginho, does he pass the ball forward all the time? Not really. He keeps it nice and tidy. Saad, I think it's very hard to change a manager's perspective of the game, but hopefully, that's exactly it. He's as stubborn as it comes, Saad. You're exactly right. Forza Juve, we have players that won't leave. No one wants them. Lack of talent. That tells you something. Yep. Still waiting for that Ryan Saliba comment to try and explain what he said. If not, we're going to end it. Kanan says, I think we should let Allegri build this year. Let's not put any hopes. The team is not that good. It needs changes. Okay, I get it. You still need to make the top four to get some money in to make the team how he wants to make the team. So if I get it, it's a this and a that. It's a yes and a no. It's yes, we want Allegri to build. We want him to build, but if it keeps happening where we're dropping games and having shit results, and we go further and further down the table, we're not winning the Champions League this year. We know that. We're not good enough to win the Champions League. How are we going to play Champions League football next year? How are we going to get that Champions League revenue money? to build the squad further. It's all relevant. We need results this year. We don't need the best results, obviously, because we know we're not going to win the title, and we'll end on this. We know we're not going to win the title, but we do need to make top 4 still. And then Ryan's now saying, I meant that every coach wants to be a manager, or everyone wants to be a manager coach in Juve to be much better than Allegri. I mentioned because you're an actual. Oh yeah, I wish I was a. I wish I was a UEFA level coach. That'd be crazy. But yeah, thanks, Ryan. I knew you weren't taking a shot at me. You're too nice of a guy. Kanan's reassuring us that we're going to make top 4, but again, results now, it's not good. So we're going to wrap it here. Like the video if you haven't yet still. Thank you guys all for tuning in today, because today was a vent session. Join our Discord. Become a member. Become a member. Because if you become a member, we can vent all together in the chat, in the Discord chat. Join through the link in the videos. Like the show or like the channel. Shit. Like this video. Look, this is what Juventus does to me. They melt my brain. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Share the channel to everyone else so they can subscribe to it. Get us 1,700. And here we go. Thank you, everybody. Ciao.